Allah mentions in the ayah about spouses, the purpose for which Allah created spouses. He says, أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. First of all, He says He created for you spouses from within yourselves. What does that mean? That our spouse is actually a part of ourselves. The spouse is actually a part of yourself. Part of them, yes, they are another person, but in some sense they are actually an extension of your own self. What's good for them is actually what's good for you. What's good for you is actually what's good for them. What hurts you hurts them. What hurts them hurts you. You become, in that sense, a shared human being. That's min anfusikum. Then Allah says, لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. The first thing Allah says about the spousal relationship, the purpose of it, is that you find calm and peace, and you find that disturbance is removed when you head towards them. I didn't say you find peace in them, but even the thought of them calms you down. Even the thought of them, as you head towards them, as your mind goes towards them, you find tranquility, you find peace, you find your problems may be endless in life, but because of your spouse, they become manageable. لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. Then He says, وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً. He says He placed between you intense love. The love you have for your spouse didn't come from you. That came from Allah. Allah is the owner of all love. And He puts that between a husband and a wife. Notice, did He say love first or did He say peace first? He said peace first, tranquility first, didn't He? You know what that means? If you want to keep the love alive, what do you have to keep alive? The peace, the tranquility. If something is disturbing that, you get rid of that first. You can't be arguing with each other and just say, by the way, I still love you. That love will start becoming weaker and weaker and weaker until it goes away and it just becomes words. The only way that love will stay sustained is if it's preceded, it's that building, the foundation of it is peace. To be at calm, to be tranquil, to feel safe. All of those things have to be there, then that love can stay alive. So that's its basis. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً. Then He says, وَرَحْمَةً. The last thing. He says not just love, but care based on that love. Care. What does care mean? You say things that you know will not hurt your spouse. You do things that you know will not hurt your spouse. You go out of their way, your way, a husband goes out of his way to make sure there's comfort for the spouse. The wife goes out of her way to make sure there's no discomfort for the husband. You see, when you get to know each other this well, then you get to know exactly what is going to bother them the most. And sometimes, because you know that, you use it. Because you know in an argument what's going to hurt the most, so you do exactly that. Or you've learned before that you made this or this mistake and that was the most painful for them, and you don't care to change it. They'll just have to deal with it, that's just who I am. That's a lack of rahmah. The love is still there, but rahmah isn't there. You understand? So there's three things Allah put inside of the spousal relationship. There's this tranquility, and then there's this intense love, and finally there's this care. So, and why is that care at the end important? Because even if peace is there, and love is there, but care is no longer there. Courtesy is no longer there. The kind of, making time for somebody is no longer there. Okay, so fine, you're not fighting with each other. You still love each other, but you don't actually care to talk to each other. You don't care to spend time with each other. You don't care to understand how the other's feeling. Then that also will bring, the marriage can become artificial. Two people are together, but the reality of it is they're not together. The bodies may be close to each other, but the souls have drifted apart. And none of us want that in a marriage.